Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about her next project, which is shooting later in the summer?
영어 성장에 든든한 동반자 보리영어입니다.
Yeah. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
키스한 거에 대해서 괜찮냐고 하니까 괜찮아요.
Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about her next project, which is shooting later in the summer? Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about her next project, which is Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk Do you remember that Do you remember that Do you remember
Do remember that. Do remember that.
Do you remember that Do you remember that
꼭 기억하세요. Do remember that.
Do you remember that Do you remember that
that 하고 같은 게 들어가죠. Do remember that.
Do you remember that Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk Miss Scott is also keen
Miss Scott is also keen to talk.
Miss Scott is also Miss Scott is also
Miss Scott is also
Miss Scott is also Miss Scott is also
keen to talk.
Miss Scott is also keen to talk Miss Scott is also keen to talk
Miss Scott is also keen to talk.
Miss Scott is also keen to talk Miss Scott is also keen to talk
뭐 하고 싶어요?
about her next
Talk about
her next project talk about her
talk about her
talk about her next project
her next project.
talk about her next project
Talk about her next project. Talk about her next project.
talk about her next project talk about her next project
Which is
talk about her next project
네, 다음 영화에 대해서 말하고 싶어하는 것을 기억하세요. 뭐냐면요, which is do remember that
Do you remember that
Miss Scott is
Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk?
Miss Scott is also keen to talk.
Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk? Do you remember that
Do you remember that
Do you remember that Do you remember that
Miss Scott is also keen to talk?
Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk? Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk?
Talk about her next project.
Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about her next project? Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about her next project?
Which is
Do you remember that Miss Scott is also keen to talk about her next project, which is shooting later in the summer? Shooting later in the summer.
shooting later in the summer.
Shooting later in the summer. Shooting later in the summer.
예, 슈팅하면 여기서 촬영하는 거 말하겠고요. Later in the summer, later in the summer 하면은 나중에 여름에 좀 이따 여름에 촬영할 거라는 거죠. 늦여름이 아니고요.
Shooting later in the summer. Shooting later in the summer.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Any horses in that one?
Any horses in that one? Any horses in that one? 네, 그 영화에도 말이 좀 나오면 어떨까요?
Or hounds, for that matter. Our readers are equally intrigued by both species. Or hounds, for that matter. Or hounds.
Or hounds. 걔는 어떤가요?
For that matter.
Or hounds for that matter.
Or hounds.
For that matter.
Or hounds, for that matter. Our readers are equally.
Our readers equally.
Our readers are equally.
Our readers equally. Or hounds for that matter.
Or hounds, for that matter.
Our readers equally.
Or hounds, for that matter. Our readers are equally. Our readers are equally intrigued by both species. Intrigued by both species.
Intrigued by those
species.
species.
Intrigued by both species.
네, species 하면은 이제 종류니까 그 두 종류의 개랑 말에 intrigued 관심이나 흥미가 많아요. 똑같이 관심이 많아요.
Our readers are equally.
Our readers are equally. 아 넣고 할게요. Our readers are equally.
Our readers are equally. Our readers are equally.
Our readers are equally.
Our readers are equally. Our readers are equally.
예, 우리 독자들은 똑같이
intrigued by both species. Intrigued by both species.
Intrigued by those species. 두 종류에 관심이 많아요.
It takes place on a submarine. It takes place on a submarine.
It takes place on a submarine.
It takes place on a submarine. It takes place on a submarine.
무대가 잠수함이에요. It takes place on a submarine.
It takes place on a submarine. It takes place on a submarine.
Or bad luck. Or bad luck.
Or bad luck.
Or bad luck. But if there were horses in it, if there were horses in it.
만약에 말이 있다면요. If there were horses in it.
Would you be riding them or be riding them?
Be riding them.
Be riding them
Or. 직접 하실 건가요?
Be riding them or would you be getting a
Be riding them or. Would you be getting a.
Stunt horse double man thing. Stunt horse.
다음에요.
Stunt horse. Double man thing.
Double man thing. Stunt horse. Double man.
Double man thing.
네, 대역을 쓰실 건가요?
I am a complete moron. I apologize. I am a complete moron. I am a moron.
Complete moron. 나 완전 바보 멍청이에요. moron 하면요.
Moron. I apologize.
Moron, I apologize. 미안해요.
This is very weird. It's the sort of thing that happens in dreams, not in real life. This is very weird.
This is very weird. 예, 이 상황이 정말 이상하죠.
It's the sort of thing.
It's the sort of thing. This is weird.
This is very weird.
It's the sort of thing.
It's the sort of thing. This is very weird. It's the sort of thing.
This is very weird. It's the sort of thing.
This is very weird. It's the sort of thing.
This is very weird. It's the sort of thing.
This is very weird. It's the sort of thing. This is very weird. It's the sort of thing that happens in
thing부터 해볼까요? Thing that happens in
dreams.
happens in dreams. in을 두 번 말한 것 같아요.
Thing that happens in
dreams. Not in. 이게 꿈에서나 일어나는 종류의 일이죠. Not in
real life.
실제 생활에 있는 일은 아니고요.
That happens in dreams, not in real life. I mean, good dreams. Good dreams.
있죠.
Good dreams. It's a dream, in fact, to see you again. It's a dream, in fact. It's a dream.
It's a dream.
It's a dream, in fact. It's a dream, in fact, to see you again.
To see you again. 당신을 다시 만난다는 건 꿈인 거죠.
What happens next in the dream? What happens next?
What happens next
in the dream?
in the dream. 네, 꿈에서는 무슨 일이 다음에 일어난대요.
What happens next
in the dream.
What happens next in the dream?
감사합니다.